Football is all about winners, and it's the winners in this multi-million-pound game who fire the passions of the fans.
Keegan's flick, Berardi, Keegan again, chance here for Keegan. He's done it! Kenny Keegan scores, and St James's Park goes absolutely wild.
But behind the glamour of the big clubs, there's the gloom of the small. One of the North East's oldest clubs, Hartlepool United, is at the bottom of the 4th division. Life's a constant struggle to survive.
The first game of the season, I'm actually in this office talking to a pressman. Some lad down from London was asking, how do you think we're going to do, the usual pre-season preamble. And there's a knock at the door, and I ignored it. And there's another knock on the door, and the third knock. I said, will you come in? What do you want? Who are you? He says, I'm the bailiff. And immediately you start the season thinking, well, that's a good start. Well, we haven't played a game on Saturday, and now we've got a bailiff knock on the door already.
We've had the bailiffs in quite a few. The first thing I had to do, actually, 5 years ago, was try and stop somebody taking the goalpost. It was sad, but at the end of it, we laughed about it. They took the goalpost, left the crossbar, so I don't know what they're going to do with the goalpost. It's sad that they do come in, actually, but we now have a good relationship with the bailiffs.
Professional football started in Hartlepool in 1908. The club dreamt of playing alongside Newcastle, Sunderland and Middlesbrough. But that dream is unfulfilled. On a record 14 occasions, they've finished at the bottom of the Football League. With each disaster, there's always been someone prepared to bail them out.
5.5 years ago, I was in hospital. My accountant came to visit me, and the headlines in the Journal that day were screaming that Hartlepool were being wound up by the Inland Revenue. And I didn't want to see another North East football team disappear. And Mark, I'd never been to Hartlepool's ground in my life. To be honest, I mean, I could have done anything in Hartlepool 5.5 years ago. I could have walked on water. I had a tremendous rapport with supporters and people in the town.
John, are you no longer chairman of Hartlepool?
I'm no longer chairman of Hartlepool.
What exactly took place in the meeting?
The first item on the agenda was myself standing down as chairman. The second item on the agenda was me resigning as a director. We're losing games. The fans
what has happened to your shares?
Putting pressure on me, and there was a takeover bid hanging over our heads, and this carrot was being dangled in front of the fans, saying, look, there's £300,000 to buy players with. Consequently, the fans saw me as a stumbling block. I have propped the club up financially for a few years now, and you can't go on doing that indefinitely. The club really needs a big cash injection, and they need it quickly. I think the final straw was, and it really was the final straw, was coming home from holiday and finding a poison pen letter at my home. Now, I don't mind what happens in Hartlepool at the football ground, but I've got 2 young sons, and some crank out there has got my home address.
John Smart is only the latest in a succession of chairmen, directors and managers to walk away from the Victoria ground. In one 10-year period, Hartlepool hired and fired an average of 1 new manager each season. Despite the troubles in the boardroom, it's business as usual in the back room. Hartlepool United's hard-pressed staff have to make every penny count. They're plagued with debts of around £150,000, and it's reckoned that the club is losing about £1,000 a week.
We come in on a morning and it's a matter of banging your head against the window and looking for inspiration out there and saying, well, we've got to do it somehow, by hook or by crook. And we've managed over the last 2 seasons. It's hard, and there's a few bruised heads, but a few broken windows, but we've managed. We have some good local creditors who don't push you. They like a little bit now and again. As long as they get a little bit, you know, now and again, they're quite happy to, you know, to take the lump sum whenever we can afford it.
Hartlepool's poor start to the season has kept the fans away and made the local business community reluctant to sponsor games and support the club financially. That means more headaches for the club's promotions department.
The parent company, Hartlepool United Football Club Limited, they have got their financial demands and financial commitments. The subsidiary company of Hartlepool United Promotions Limited, which was founded in 1985, yes, it is right that sadly, if things aren't going right on the park and you aren't getting the valued income coming through the turnstiles, then a lot of emphasis is indeed placed on the subsidiary company to bring in that injected capital which is needed to allow the company to carry on trading.
In the wake of the Hillsborough tragedy, Hartlepool, like other league clubs, was forced to improve ground safety. They spent £160,000, some of it from outside sources, but it still put an additional strain on their finances. Hartlepool fans would like to have seen some money spent on new players.
Personally, as a loyal supporter, I do not feel as if we're getting full value for our money. Certainly aren't.
Well, the fans of Hartlepool United, we've got a hardened bunch. Once we're on a good run, it becomes us. Aren't we doing well? Aren't we doing well, Frankie? We're doing very well down there. Another win on Saturday, Frankie. Then we get beat 3 times on the trot or something like that. And all of a sudden it becomes, you got beat on Saturday. Aren't you rubbish down there, you know? It's, I think it's football. That's the general attitude of football throughout the entire nation.
When it comes to match day, the fans and everyone involved with the game are no different from anywhere else. They turn up in the hope of supporting a winning team. But so far this season, there's been precious little to shout about. Hartlepool are firmly rooted at the foot of the 4th Division, with only 2 wins this season. It's little different from many previous seasons. Bobby Moncur, the manager, blames geography for some of the club's problems.
We're a little bit out on a limb, if you like, in the northeast of England, and we've got Sunderland, Middlesbrough and Newcastle around us. And really, Hartlepool have survived over the years by getting free transfer players. And free transfer players, with all due respect to the people, to all free transfer players, at some time they've been given away by other clubs. Invariably, the 1st Division clubs give free transfer players away because they're not good enough for the 1st Division. However, they might be good enough for the 4th Division. But because we're up in Hartlepool, you know, you've got the Manchester area and you've got the Birmingham area, the London area, we are not going to get the good free transfer players.